Hey everyone, welcome to another Throwback Thursday. I just wanted to talk about this Transcendental Satanism book, Doctrines of the Infernal Process, by Matt the Lord Zane. Oh, come on, Jerry. Cosmo and Jerry, as usual, want to be part of this. Yes, baby. I wanted to actually show people this. I just got this in. This is a custom made Bhairava statue of Shiva's raffle form. So, and it's really highly detailed statue. Pretty amazing. And he's holding a skull with the sacrifice of the five senses. Raffle sacrifice. If you know anything about Tantra. And then, of course, he's got severed heads and skulls around him. So it's pretty intricate. He's got a noose there. So he's got a cangling trumpet there. He's holding, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah. Yes, he's got a cangling there. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. She did a good job on that. She said it was the hardest piece that she ever made. But she's got other statues on Etsy. I don't know if she's going to make more of these. But if you guys are interested, I can leave a link. Just let me know in the comments section. But anyway, getting back to this book here. So, Power of Destiny, Present Conceptions of Life, Death, and Beyond. This is a pretty cool book on Satanism. I did not order this. This was actually given to me. It arrived with a Ashashigam book. So it was a bonus. It came out in 2009. I didn't really know what to think of it. It was pretty good. It seems like he's kind of got his own order going on here. It's really about kind of surviving consciously after one dies. The way he puts it is when you die, and I don't believe in this, that your consciousness is fully devoured or assimilated into the cosmos. I believe in reincarnation. And, you know, the fact that the spirit survives, you know, separate from the soul and all that. So I'm a Gnostic. So I believe that, you know, the soul, the body and the soul were created by the Demerge, but the spirit is the true essence and all that. He's a little bit different about it. He believes that if Jerry, come on. He believes that when you die, your consciousness gets absorbed into the cosmos, basically. And you just become essentially assimilated. Your consciousness disappears. So there is no survival, really, because you become an essence of the God, you know, or the demiurge, I should say, which he calls the God. Now, he says that the Satan is kind of the other God that offers a, he doesn't really interfere. He kind of says that the way he talks about, you know, Satan is it's more like an unknown God. It's kind of like the mayoral or Abraxas, you know, the L acre, basically. The unknown God that Gnostics, you know, believe in, the higher God. So Satan kind of takes that position in this book. He doesn't really interfere with the world, but everybody kind of has an essence in them, according to this author, called the Satanic self. And when you tap into it, you can survive with your consciousness intact. When you die, and so he goes through the steps of surviving with your consciousness as an individual. And when we die, it's almost like, it read to me like a satanic version of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And a lot of people call it a form of Tantra, honestly. So, so he has all these commandments, these contemplations, and all that. And he goes into all these statements. But it read to me like a satanic version of the Book of the Dead. It kind of prepares you for when that final moment arrives and what you need to do in order to survive in consciousness. So he goes into kind of a lot of the energy, you know, of your spirit and all that, and how you have, once you pass away, he says that you have a limited time to make it, and you have to create a gate. You have to be able to create a gate and go through it, and you know, before the God, the demiurge, takes your consciousness and evaporates it and basically simulates it into the cosmos. So, he's got all these different gateways that you have to do before you create a gateway. So, it's a type of path working and a way to get to that. He's got gateway of dreams, gateway of pleasure, gateway of creation, gateway of pain, gateway of abstinence, gateway of synthesis. And he gives you instructions on how to do this. These are just easy sigils, it looks like. Pretty basic stuff. It talks about manipulating dreams consciously. This isn't the same thing as astral travel, though. This is really you fantasizing and changing what the dream outcome is. So, for example, if the clock reads 3:13 before you go to bed, and then you dream about a clock and it says, you know, 4:21, you should be able to make the clock say 3:13 when you're sleeping. So he kind of goes into this. Changing your dreams, you know, consciously, for different outcomes and all that. Gateway of pleasure, this is more of a, you know, orgasm, sexual thing. I'm not going to go into too much about that because of the, you know, it's YouTube. So, I don't know, you know, I don't know if anybody's kids are listening to this or not, so I'm just going to kind of, but you get the whole point. It's basically going into orgasm and then climax, kind of a thing. Creation, you know, this is about like artistic music projects that you, you know, enhance or take up. Abstinence, focusing on nothingness, getting rid of internal dialogue, basically stilling your mind, you know, which is so hard for a lot of people to do, including myself, you know. But what happens is, as you meditate, it gets better, and then you start, you know, finding yourself in other places when you meditate and all that. I've been doing a lot of visualization when I meditate. I'm in kind of a cremation grounds, but gateway of pain. This is kind of inflicting pain on yourself. You know, he talks about doing certain stretches and all that, you know, to safely do this. Basically, this isn't a license to take a knife and just cut yourself. And then you got synthesis. Where you kind of combine all of them. So, goes into more of this explanation about it. Talks about these different ones. If you notice on the back here, he's got these tattooed on his back. These different sigils. So he talks about opposing the natural order that the Demiurge sets out for us by choosing to self-create and go against it. So the usual, you know, against society thing, transgressive. So he talks about Satanic yoga, how great, you know, it can help people, you know, and build certain consciousness. So, interject streams. So, personalized energy exists beyond the body when emitted and released. People emanate energy into every aspect of their surroundings. Basically, he's talking about the aura. That's typically what an aura is. It is energy that is given off. All animals have it, actually. But so it's really, some of his essays in here are really good. I especially like this. The arguing is useless. Because it's true, you can tell people something and they're still going to argue with you because you're, they're fixed in their point, and there's no point in really arguing with people, so I do agree with that. you know, sometimes it's good to lie to people because, and I learned this the hard way. I used to, years ago, I worked in a place called Steinmart in Colorado, which is from Florida. It's a like clothing, home goods store, right? And this coworker was trying on some really ugly ass green green plastic type of pants. You know, they were like they were just terrible. You know, it was like a platinum type of, you know, green. You know, there were these green shiny pants, just really awful, ugly things. And she asked me how they looked, and I said tacky. And of course she was angry about that, and she told somebody that I was being mean to her, and I was like, I mean, I'm sorry, they just were. So I guess I probably should have said, yes, they look great. But it is what it is. I just don't get along with people that much, and you know, I have a hard time with lying, unfortunately. So, so he talks about morality and kind of going against the grain, making up your own morals, values. So, but this is where he says, like, so the great Satan is only concerned with creating more consciousness in the universe. This is his will. He chose humankind to bestow this gift along with the potential to rebel against the natural universe and escape annihilation of the self upon death. Every act of independence apart from the natural universe is an affirmation of gratitude and confirmation of his existence. If consciousness develops and is refined to the point of withstanding absorption into the natural universe upon death, humankind has reached the ultimate goal of existence. Prayer or pleading of any kind to the great Satan is useless. He is unconcerned with individual pursuits or problems because he does not see things in such mundane fashion. So this is basically like the unknown God of us Gnostics. It's true, he really has nothing to do with the mundane world. He sees and understands everything as energy and cannot interact with people because his energy is so immense by comparison. So he came from unknown and is only one of the entities inhabiting the unknown realm. So, talks about personal evolution here. So to obtain status on the true ladder of rank rather than one imposed by people supposedly in authority. So self-importance obviously is a good thing. These are one of the primary goals, 7 primary goals. To constantly create manifestations that enter the circle of creation. Bring about a new society. Create a separate consciousness of the defined self distinct from mass consciousness. Bring about self-created individuals who function separately from the uninitiated masses, yet still from the inside of what he or she is separate from. Um, I love this. People are not created equal. Because, yes, that's true. There's no such thing as equality, and that's why it cannot exist. Some people live longer than others. Humans do not start on a level playing field. Everyone is not equal. Some people are better than others from the moment of birth. Accepting and exploring our darkest natures. Darkness is a necessity, existence, birth of all things. This guy has on like 15 statements of Transcendental Satanism here. So this says, or the order of Transcendental Satanism. Never deny lust, respect and follow desire, live without regret, relinquish given morality, use fear as a guide to pursue action, strive for continued advancement of mind and body, die rather than fail or submit, reject illusions created by words, give life through action, develop conscious discipline, take full responsibility for personal actions, always be aware of signs from the Satanic aspect, seek all forms of power, renounce rigid existence when existence becomes an unconscious act, complete all that is begun. So those are pretty good statements. And then, of course, we start off with a Stanton LaVey foreword. Stanton LaVey was, well, he's one of the, I think he's the youngest son of Anton LaVey. I might be wrong about that, but I believe he's probably the very last child that Anton LaVey had. As far as I know, he has everything of Anton LaVey, all of his artwork and all that, was willed to him upon him passing away. So he gives kind of a good introduction here about the author. And as far as I can tell, I think this is the only book that this Matt guy wrote. But overall, I mean, it's a short read. It's not a very big book. Let's see. Yeah, it's 159 pages. It's really an interesting book. I recommend it if you're getting into Tantra or any of the Eastern type of philosophies. Because it's kind of like I said, it's like a Satanic Book of the Dead in a way. Because it's kind of prepares you for the ending of this life. But really, it's surprisingly, for being this small, there is a wealth of information that I thought was pretty helpful. I don't think it's a beginner Satanism book, to be honest with you. I think you kind of have to know what it means to be satanic before reading this book. But it's definitely better than anything released by Church of Satan or the Satanic Temple. Really, it's kind of a good companion if you're already into Gnosticism. Or like I said, Eastern philosophies. Particularly the Buddhist type of Tantra. any of those kind of paths. You know, this is a good companion, I think, of that. Obviously, this is not, I wouldn't call it a atheist Satanism book, because he does believe in, obviously, the greater Satan. He does believe in spirits, other spirits, higher deities, and all that. But he does say that it is basically, there is no interference from a higher deity into this world. So it's all on you, basically, to make the change and create your own world. Blessings, whatever. So it was just interesting. It's a really interesting book. I do recommend it. And you can get it on Amazon. As far as I know, it's still in print. It's published on Lulu originally, but last time I checked, it was in print. The reviews on it are pretty good on Amazon, too. Somebody also said that it was like a Tantra book. So it's definitely pretty good, I think. So anyway, if you like this book review, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you.